Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to, what is the name of this program?
You better know by now. You're one of the producers.
Oh, I am?
Yes.
Oh.
Isn't he, Philip?
How do you say
We
let's
give him
talk
credit.
antique in French?
All right. How do you say let's talk antique in French, Adele?
Parlons antique.
Did you
what?
get
Antiquité.
do it again for him and do it slow. So
Okay.
Very slowly.
Southern, how do you say it in Southern French?
yeah, do it in
Slower.
Southern French.
Oh gosh, I don't know the accents. But it's Parlons des antiquités.
You all.
You all.
Anyway, all seriousness, this is Let's Talk Antiques, and we do have a special guest from a long way away, no
Well,
less.
she's actually from France, and 6 years ago she came as an exchange student and stayed with my granddaughters. And by the way, my granddaughters went to her house in France, one at a time, right? Haley first, and then Emily.
Yes.
And then, so 6 years later, here's my little. This is my little French granddaughter. You know, she's part of the family, and so she's took her a break during college, and you've been here. You're going to be when you get done about 30 days here, about a month.
5 weeks
5 weeks, okay.
in total.
But so she took her little break from college, and she went. Where did you go? You've been several different places.
So I traveled in South America for 6 months, and I started in Chile, and I've been in the north, the south of Chile, and then I've been in Argentina, in Patagonia, and then I've been in Peru, and of course to the Machu Picchu.
Yeah.
Wow.
And by the way, she can speak Spanish now too.
Well,
So she can speak English, French, and Spanish, and so most of us can only speak English and not that well.
And
at
not that well. Yeah,
Except Philip, I know he can speak several languages.
yeah,
being a producer.
he's multilingual, and he's going to tell the world about the program and where you can find it in French.
Can you do that?
No, I can't even fake it. So you're listening to us on WMSR right now, and every week at, what time is this? 9 o'clock? 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock.
There you go, on Wednesdays. You can also watch us every day on LightTube Channel 6 at 12:30 or 1:30.
1:30.
See, am I the person who should be telling this?
Well, really, you and Howard are the producers of this
Well, we
show.
have a lot of fun when you do it.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to make some notes one day. Okay, and Charter 193.
When can you watch it on Charter?
Tonight at 6:30, I believe.
Yeah. How about Friday
and then
night?
and then Friday night.
How about
and
Sunday?
And Sunday afternoon, kind of thing. So, and but you can always watch us on Facebook or YouTube. You can just search for "Let's Talk Antiques." We come right up on there. And when you watch our videos online, please like, share, comment,
Tell them why.
because it helps us. It bumps us up in the ratings,
Right.
and then when more people look for it, then they can find it easier.
Right.
Which I guess is what's happening, because let's say when you search "Let's Talk Antiques," we come up. So
We're at the top of
so
the
there
list.
you go. Exactly.
See?
Okay, so today,
Yep.
since we have Adele here, you know, one of the most famous museums in the world and the largest attraction museum is the Louvre.
Right.
And guess where it is?
Paris.
Is that
No,
right?
and-
it's
Is it
right.
in Paris?
It's correct.
You know, I was shocked about that. I didn't think Paris, Tennessee had the biggest museum.
You did?
Yeah.
No, I was shocked when I was
Yeah.
I thought it was Paris, Arkansas, but I
Well,
thought
wait a
they
minute.
had the biggest one.
How many different Parises are there? How many is there?
I bet there's
Adele?
dozens.
I only know one.
Oh,
but
okay.
Which one do you know?
the one in France, but
Okay.
the only one I visit.
Well,
Uh-huh.
well, so we probably need to take her to Paris, Tennessee, right?
Right.
And let her stand there and let Emily or Haley or Scott or somebody take a picture of you standing in Paris, Tennessee.
There is an Eiffel Tower in Paris, Tennessee.
I believe
it's
there
just
is.
very
It's
short.
true.
Yeah, yeah.
It is. It's not quite as impressive as the original.
No.
Yes, yes.
Oh, there's also an Eiffel Tower in Cincinnati. Did you know that?
No,
did you know that?
At Kings Island, the
Oh,
amusement
okay.
park.
I've not been to Kings
I
Yeah.
only know the one in Las Vegas.
But
Oh, okay.
yeah, there's one there. But there's the one in Cincinnati is, I think, a third. It's about 300 feet.
Really?
Isn't the one
Okay.
in Paris, it's what about? Is it 1,000 feet? It's
I don't know because we don't use the same.
yeah, that's right.
Okay, yeah.
Y'all are weird. You use that.
No, you are. In Europe, we all use the same.
Yeah.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, they've been trying to get us to convert for about 40 years.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But in
it's-
England, they do like you, and in Australia, New Zealand, I think all the English.
Really? I didn't
Yeah,
realize that the
they
English
do.
did.
England. I think
It's an
I
English
thought-
thing.
I think England finally switched though because they went into the European Union.
Well, they go out, so they're gonna
When
be
they go
back,
back,
like
we'll get them back.
We'll figure it out, yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
I guess officially, have they went out yet?
No.
No, it's a big mess right now.
Yeah, yeah. They just elected a new prime minister who is going to do it. He says, and what? About 3 months is
Yeah.
the deadline
Well,
or something like
he
that.
Halloween.
say he's gonna do it, but he's not alone.
No,
Yeah.
But
It takes more than just him, don't it?
right.
The Eiffel Tower is 1,063
That's what I
feet
thought.
to
So
the tip.
the one in was about 300 feet, and
Yeah.
it's really impressive. You ride up.
So
in
you know
it.
what that tells me?
What's
That's
that?
about a third scale.
Yeah, about a third of scale.
Third scale.
Okay.
Do you know what that is?
No.
It's a third the size of the real one.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I was thinking. It was about that. But in all seriousness, the in Paris, the Louvre, is that how you pronounce that? Louvre?
Yes.
Is very. I was shocked that it was the biggest museum in the world.
The biggest.
Not
yeah.
the biggest, the largest.
Well, the largest, yeah. And they have a collection of something like 40,000 items,
Yeah. a lot.
according to Google. That's how I know that. See,
I haven't count, but
but
You know-
they've
something
got
like
some
that.
really famous items there. You know.
And the history behind what it was.
What's 1790?
Kind of start out with it was kind of like a fort.
Yes.
Then it
Yeah.
grew from a fort to
In
a
the
castle.
medieval period, yes, and it was a castle, but very very small compared to what it's now.
Oh, of course.
And every king of France had built a new one. It was, I think, Charles the Fifth,
Yeah.
who sorry,
Well, that's
who-
okay.
who actually built the biggest, and from that they just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And Napoleon, the emperor, he actually closed it because every king had a part, and Napoleon just closed it,
Oh,
and it make a big what we know now.
uh-huh. But it's quite impressive.
Well-
because you told me what was coming up, see, so I Googled.
Well, I have to
And I
say,
was shocked how
I have
how-
to say one thing though. Usually, no matter what show we pick, you've always got an item. And I can't believe you don't have a little miniature Eiffel
Well,
Tower or something.
actually, my items were on loan to the Louvre.
Oh, okay. What about that? Do you think he's kidding, or do you think he's telling the truth?
Careful.
I'm gonna go and check.
She's going to be a diplomat, isn't she?
Yes, she
Politician.
is.
That's what she's
Well,
gonna
she wants to be the president of France.
That's what you say.
Yeah. I want her to be the president.
She could
There you
be.
Oh, because you
Any-
want me to invite.
You'd have a place to
you-
stay.
Anything is possible.
If you're the president of France,
Uh-huh.
will you be the first female president?
Yes.
All right.
Huh. Okay.
Uh-huh. Yes.
I think that's great, don't you?
There you go.
Yeah.
So I went to
would
the
be
Louvre's
glad.
website, by the way, and it says that they're full today, so
Oh,
Yeah, I-
no.
maximum capacity
We were
visitors.
supposed to go.
So,
Do you
Yeah.
know that 70% of the visitors to the Louvre are tourists?
Yeah.
sure, yeah. I
Oh, I
believe
read
it.
that.
70% though.
Yeah, I can
Oh,
tell.
in a year's time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can tell. You don't hear a lot of French when you visit the
Oh,
Louvre.
probably so.
A lot of Chinese and English and all those languages.
Well, and another interesting fact about it, we're going to get into some interesting facts about the Louvre, but the pyramid. Tell them about the pyramid.
Yeah, so the pyramid was built in 1889. 1989, sorry. 1989, sorry. It was ordered by a French president called Mitterrand.
Oh, yeah.
And It was so it ended in 89.
It started in 85.
Yes.
And ended in 89.
And it took a while. It was the biggest construction since a while, and the architect was from the U.S. and it was kind of a scandal because that was the first non-French architect who had something at the Louvre.
So he was like Chinese American, right?
Yeah.
So this is an actual pyramid, a replica
The
of what
glass,
the pyramids
the
in.
glass pyramid at the front. It's in a lot of movies. That's what I've seen it
A
in.
lot of movies
Yeah.
and TV shows.
Is it right out front? Is that why it's there, or do they just show the pyramid because it's recognizable? Do you know?
I think because it's recognizable, and you know, Paris, it's Paris. It's awesome. So
Oh, okay.
they want to say we film in Paris. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that could be part of it too.
But it's actually pretty expensive to rent it, and for the fan of Beyonce and Jay-Z, well, they film in the Louvre, I think in 2018, and so that was a big thing, and they say that the Louvre owned them some visitors, so that was a big thing.
Okay.
Well,
I'm waiting.
Well,
You looked like you were going to say something.
well, no, I was just watching you two work here.
Oh, okay.
And so the Louvre, the most famous piece of artwork they got is,
Mona Lisa.
Mona
I'd
Lisa.
say
and
so.
guess what? What is the most valuable piece of artwork they got?
Mona Lisa.
That you're good.
Well, I can tell because it's well protected.
And
Yeah,
You
it
know-
would have to be.
and for a piece that's only, what's the size of it?
What? 21
By 30?
by 30.
Yeah, it's not a great big picture.
No, it's small.
because there's other ones there that are huge.
The first time I've been there, I was looking everywhere and say, "Where is that?" And my godfather pointed and he said, "Well, it's behind these people because of course there's a lot of people in front of it taking pictures." And so I had to, pass and say sorry, and I finally saw it and I was like, "Okay, it's small."
Yeah,
Real small.
they got a lot of Van Gogh. They got the Starry Night there too.
Do they?
Yeah, that's a famous Van Gogh.
Not as expensive.
No, probably not. But
It's way down the line.
But it's also very well known.
Believe it or not, Howard, it's way down the line if you Google the most expensive.
Oh, I'm sure it is. Yeah, but I that's one of my
I think the
favorites.
second highest one is the one where somebody's playing cards. Two men are playing cards or something, but we can get
the
to
dogs one.
No, not the
Is that
dogs.
the dogs playing cards.
No, not the dogs. This is actually two human beings.
Oh,
That should be right.
I think you lost her there.
Sorry, that's an American
Yeah.
joke.
I thought of the same thing at the same time.
Well, somebody tell my little adopted granddaughter, what do you mean by the American joke about the dogs?
Well, there's this picture of they're bulldogs, aren't they? You got to look it up. And they're
Yeah, I'll
bulldogs,
show
and they're
it.
sitting around a table playing cards. It's kind of a spoof of
No,
Of the high dollar.
the
piece
high
of
dollar
art.
one, I guess. But
Okay.
it's just
Have you ever seen that at the Louvre?
No,
no. Oh, that's terrible.
it
It's
could
just
be.
that,
There's
yeah,
a lot
yeah.
of different painting.
yeah.
over
I'm sure.
there, so
I'm sure.
It could,
Especially
it
as
could
big
be.
as it is,
Hey,
they've got all styles.
We're going to have to take a break here in a minute or two, and then we're going to get into some facts about the Louvre, and maybe you can tell us some of what artwork you really like. But you also said there was some other different artwork that wasn't at the Louvre. Is that right? That you've been to different museums?
Yes.
Okay, and we kind of talk about that. But with that, do you want to take a break now?
Yeah,
or-
let's go ahead. It's almost time anyway, so let's take a break. And
Well,
go-
that just gives us a little extra time on the next time around.
That's
won't
right.
it?
Okay,
All right.
we'll be right back with. Say it
Let's-
again. Let's talk antiques in French.
Parlons antiquité.
There you go.
Wish I could talk like that.
Hello, I'm Pick and Rick T from CFC, best place to get you used auto parts and all types of metals to repurpose for your needs. Just take a drive down 55, see this handsome guy, stop on by. Check out our computer for hundreds of autos to locate the make and the model of the part you need. $2 fee is all you pay. Sign in, get a hand stamp, it's good for all day. Bring in your tools, get the parts you need pulled, and use a wheelbarrow to lighten the load. Pay for your parts, prices you'll be fond of. Each part's price the same, Chevy or Honda. Get exchange warranty for 30 days too. Swap out the parts you don't need for the parts that you do. Happy pick.
The Jiffy Burger on the Hillsborough Boulevard in Manchester has been voted as having the best hamburgers in Manchester. Hometown atmosphere, historical memorabilia, and of course those great burgers, salads, chicken, and so much more. It's the Jiffy Burger on the Hillsborough Boulevard in Manchester. Call in orders at 728-4452. You can also order at the convenient outdoor curb service. Hamburgers are made the old-fashioned way at the Jiffy Burger, Manchester's finest hamburgers. Open 7:30 until 9, Monday through Saturday.
Monday.
All right, we're back here with Let's Talk Antiques, and now we're going to talk more about the Louvre and some of the items in the Louvre Museum. This is in Paris, France.
Yeah, but during the break, we had a pretty interesting little conversation going on between Philip.
Yeah, that was
and
interesting.
Adele.
Yeah.
So
It's off subject is all. I'd waited for the break.
Well, that's okay. Let's do it again.
Okay.
So you asked her.
Where she stayed at Machu Picchu.
And I didn't remember the name of it, but
Just
that was
in
a small
general, yeah.
that was a small hotel. Yeah.
Yeah, but where are we talking? We're not talking about France right now,
No,
guys.
No.
this is South America, right?
Yeah.
And the reason is your dad's taking a.
He's gonna drive the Pan American Highway.
Mm-hmm.
So he's crazier than I am at that.
Yeah,
so he's one up to me.
Now I got to ask a question on driving the
Yeah.
Pan American Highway. How safe is that?
We're going to make sure his insurance is up to date. But other than that,
You mean his life
insurance, yeah. But yeah, I think it's pretty safe.
Well-
It's not like he's going to be out exploring the jungle while he's doing it.
Well,
It's
I
a
know-
highway.
I know,
and
but-
stopping at the cities along the
Right.
way. And I think his
Is it paved all the way now? I guess it is.
Yes, yeah.
At one time it wasn't,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it used to be. You could be in one country, it might be paved. You come to the border of the next country, and it might be a dirt road or a gravel
so.
road, or
Yeah,
something
I
like that.
I think as long as you're on the highway,
highway,
per se, you're okay. And but yeah, he's going to Machu Picchu too. So that's what
Wow,
I knew.
that'd be
he was,
quite a trip.
Yeah, that's one of the.
Now,
that's
is
one
it
of the spots I'm
is
jealous
it his
of.
own personal car?
Yes, he bought a car to.
Now he's going all
take
the way
with
to
him.
the tip of South America.
Yeah.
Now, is he going to drive back?
Oh no.
What's he going to do with these cars?
There's all kinds of legal things. Like people
Yeah.
try to go down there and just dump a car, but he's working on maybe selling it to somebody or donating it to a church or something
okay.
like that. He's trying to figure out. That's still something to be worked out. at this
Yeah,
point.
because I could just see now you're going to drive back.
No, you don't drive back.
Yeah.
So what kind of car is he going to take down there?
At Toyota something. He said that he
Four-wheel
did
drive?
research. I don't know, but like I say, he's not driving through the jungle. But it's
Okay.
There's more Toyota dealerships in South America than any other brand. Was the choice of picking Toyota. So he's actually researched about it and stuff. So.
Adele, did you go to any museums while you was in South America?
Yes.
So,
Yes.
So which ones? So tell us a little bit about it.
So in Santiago, I've been in a museum about the dictatorship during Pinochet, because that was a big thing over there, and a lot of people disappear. We don't know how, and there's still family who haven't found their their
So
family.
they disappear?
Just disappear, and so that was a museum of memory to remember them and to explain how was it during the dictatorship, which was not a long time ago. It started on 1973 and lasted like 10 years, more than that. I don't remember exactly, but so it was a lot about the press during the dictatorship and all the people who have been arrested because they were against the dictatorship. So that was really interesting.
Arrested because it was against the dictatorship.
Yeah, that happens a lot when you're against the dictator.
Yeah, that's what I love about America.
Yeah.
Don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, it's hard for us to think about things
Yeah,
like that.
It really is.
It's I was surprised actually because I knew about it because I took Spanish classes and it was part of the program, but I didn't know how bad it was.
Oh, yes.
So
There's been other countries have had that problem.
Yeah,
in South America, yes.
And they want you to invest in the real estate down there. How? I would never do that. I'm not leaving America when it comes to investing in real estate. I'm putting my money in America because of what she just said. Like if they change dictatorships, you're $100,000 or $1 million worth of real estate. You might not own it no more.
No, it could be taken over by the government.
No kidding.
And Europe doesn't face that problem either. Anymore to
Anymore.
the extent that they have in South America.
And by the way,
and same with America.
I know we're working toward the Louvre.
Yeah, we are getting there.
The French Alps. Don't your grandparents live in the French Alps?
Well, yeah, my dad grew up in the French Alps, and but my grandparents moved when they retired because they want to be close to the city, and it's kind of a hard life, to live in the mountain because winter are cold and there's snow and.
Do you still have the property?
No, we sold it.
You sold it?
Yeah.
How about that, living in the French Alps?
That'd be neat.
Well, evidently it ain't too neat.
Well, some people like snow.
Yeah.
Skiing and all that good stuff.
I like to see it on TV.
Yeah. I'm the kind of guy that goes to, the ski resort and sits in front of the fireplace and drinks hot coffee and watches the people limp by on their crutches.
I guess that's why I really love Tennessee because we do have some snow. Not that much.
Not that much.
And usually it's not that hot here, So we do have some hot days.
Oh, yeah.
But overall, Tennessee's really a good place to live for its climate.
Yeah, I think so.
What do you think?
Yeah, you try to make me come and live here, right?
That's right.
Well, yes.
So where you live at, what's the coldest it gets in the wintertime?
Again, it's Celsius degree.
Uh-huh.
But we can have -5 or...
Celsius?
Yes.
So what's that in
the mountain. Where I live,
not
often.
Now 23 degrees.
23?
There you go. Okay.
Yeah, 0. Freezing is 0, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And boiling is 100.
Yes.
In Celsius?
In Celsius.
Yeah.
That'd be 212. Fahrenheit would be 100 Celsius. Those are the two benchmarks that I know.
Yeah,
and then I try to do in my mind, that's a little cold.
In the
that's
summer,
a lot.
so in the summer, what's...
Well, it can be pretty hot. So I live near the mountain, but it's in the south, so it's pretty hot down there.
It's warmer in South France.
Yes,
right?
yes. And right now, I mean, we had waves of heat, and it's the second one, and it's pretty hot.
Yeah, they've had some really hot weather in parts of
right
Europe.
now, yes.
Yeah.
What is the temperature in Celsius?
Right now it can be 35
95.
and more
95.
in some
95
places.
degrees,
Yes. Almost 100 in some places.
Yeah,
I heard.
it's just comparable to what we just had here. We were in the 90s, low to mid 90s.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know what gets us, Howard? It's not really. It's that humidity.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody says that word, but really it is.
I wish they had never come up with this feels like thing. I was better off when it was 90, and then they come along and say, well, it's 90, but it feels like 100. Now all of a sudden I'm really hot. Because I knew all along that it felt hot. They don't have to tell me.
I have to run 3 dehumidifiers in my storage buildings because, but you can tell it can be hot in there, but if you don't run the dehumidifiers, it really feels hot.
It really feels hot.
It does feel hot. So Adele,
Yes.
so that was your king. He actually lived at the Louvre. And
Which
then
one?
Which one? Several of them did.
The one that moved off and moved somewhere else and gave it.
Yeah.
As a museum. He gave it away in what, 1793? They actually opened it up as a museum in
Right after it,
1793.
with the collection of.
So where did he move to?
To Versailles.
Versailles.
And didn't you say it was a smaller?
It was small, but it was a big house, but it was compared to what it's now. That was small. Yes.
Like the Louvre was.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was huge. We call him the Sun King, and he built all of it, and well, keep going after that. But it's really beautiful, and I prefer the garden. The garden is the yards. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's landscaped really nice.
Yes, because actually you can't visit a lot of the Versailles when you go. There's just few rooms you can go in, and it's crowded.
Yeah, but back to the Louvre too. Think about it. It started out as an outpost.
Yeah.
Then it grew into a castle, right?
Yes.
I mean, so it was several things, wasn't it? And it just kept growing and growing.
Growing, yeah.
And then once he
Yes.
got it big enough, he moved off. Give it away and moved off.
That's how we do.
Yeah, that's
Wait a minute.
We all
That's
do
how they
that.
roll.
we all kind of do that, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
But,
I forgot what the average American, how many homes in their lifetime they'll own, you know. Is it like 20 or something?
No,
Google that, Mr.
Can't be
Fact
that
Finder.
high.
I think it is.
Really?
You know, like when you get married and you buy a house.
Yeah, I get, but
How many homes have you owned?
25. But
See what I
no.
mean? How many have you?
Huh? Oh my.
Well, wait a minute. How many is that? Oh my.
Now, when you say own, that I
Owned
physically
or rent. You
owned
moved
or-
somewhere.
owned or rent.
Yeah,
Now
well,
you
see-
changed the
Well,
format.
it's still your home, even though you're
yeah,
renting it.
yeah, I guess.
How many homes have you had as a married couple?
Oh boy.
Let me make it real simple for you, Howard.
Yeah, but I've been married forever.
Yeah, but to the same wife. That's a good thing.
Well, that's true, but you know.
So how many homes?
Oh my.
So what's the average fellow? Why he's counting?
Well, it says the average American moves more than 11 times in their lifetime.
So how does that?
But that's not like married life. That's
Yeah.
entire life.
Yeah,
11
entire
times.
life. Yeah.
So what do you think? You think the average French person moves more than 11 times in a lifetime?
I don't know.
How many times has your family moved?
Never. Well, my parents probably. I don't know. I know they moved when they were married. They moved twice, and the second time it's my house right now. But yes.
So they probably don't move as much as Americans over in France.
Yeah. Sometimes they've owned their house for longer, or the families own the house for longer than they've even known our continent was here too.
Yeah,
That
that's
is
true.
true.
We have pretty old house, and in the county I live, they used to have a tradition way to build home. So my house is built with mud, and which is really cool because during summer it's cold inside, and during winter it's hot.
It's warm.
So it was a traditional way to build a home. It's not anymore because it's really expensive to do it now. But my house is 100 years old, yes.
See, that's something Americans have always done. We got to tear everything down and build new, and we've lost a lot of our history and a lot of really great, neat buildings because we want new. You know, it's starting to change, I think, a little bit, but for a long time, if it was old, it was no good.
True. That's a friend of mine. He was friends with some people. He worked in Switzerland for a while,
Yes.
and had some friends in France, and they went to visit them, and their house was like there was a wall around this town that they lived in, a really old wall, and their back wall of their house was that wall. And it was hundreds of years
So
old.
they built the house and part of it was that wall.
Part of the back, when the wall was there first,
Mhm.
and then they used that for their back wall, and I was like, that's
Isn't that amazing?
That's
crazy.
pretty cool.
Yeah, it's really
Speaking
awesome.
of what you said, Howard, I think that's conditioning.
It is.
I think people are conditioned not to want old because can't make no money keeping old stuff. You know, they want you to buy something new all the time.
Yeah,
Could be
but
part of
on
the
Let's Talk
American
Antiques,
thing.
we like to push the old stuff.
Hey, I told somebody one time. I said, "Well, you buy you a bunch of household furniture, and you keep doing that every year, and I'm gonna keep buying older signs and that kind of stuff. And in the end, let's see which one is more valuable,
Right.
Or TVs or whatever."
Hey, we got to take a break. We're over.
All right, then let's get about, what do you want to talk about? 20 different things about the Louvre, or 14 different things or something? And then,
Yes.
And then we can talk about your girlfriend, Mona Lisa. She is your girlfriend, right?
She used to be, maybe. I don't know.
We'll be right back with more Let's Talk Antiques.
Hello, I'm Pick and Rick T from CFC, best place to get you used auto parts and all types of metals to repurpose for your needs. Just take a drive down 55, see this handsome guy, stop on by. Check out our computer for hundreds of autos to locate the make and the model of the part you need. $2 fee is all you pay. Sign in and get a hand stamp, it's good for all day. Bring in your tools, get the parts you need pulled, and use a wheelbarrow to lighten the load. Pay for your parts, prices you'll be fond of. Each part's price the same, Chevy or Honda. Get exchange warranty for 30 days too. Swap out the parts you don't need for the parts that you do. Happy pick.
The Jiffy Burger on the Hillsborough Boulevard in Manchester has been voted as having the best hamburgers in Manchester. Hometown atmosphere, historical memorabilia, and of course those great burgers, salads, chicken, and so much more. It's the Jiffy Burger on the Hillsborough Boulevard in Manchester. Call in orders at 728-4452. You can also order at the convenient outdoor curb service. Hamburgers are made the old-fashioned way at the Jiffy Burger, Manchester's finest hamburgers. Open 7:30 until 9, Monday through Saturday.
All
So if
right,
you wanna-
we're back here with more Let's Talk Antiques, and we're still talking about France, the Louvre. And of course, we have a special guest, Adele, with us.
Yes. What do you got there, Adele? Is that your house?
Yeah, I was
Let's
showing
see.
some.
Show us your house. Well,
Just to make the radio listeners
Yeah, hold it up
jealous.
in front of the microphone.
yeah. Hold it up in front of the mic so that people. There you go. They can see it.
Yeah.
There you go. That's beautiful, Adele.
Yes.
Where's the house?
Well, that's the garden, so I told you it's big.
Yeah, what town do you live in?
Oh gosh, you want to know?
We're
That's-
probably not going to look you up or stalk you
Yeah,
there.
that's a small village, smaller than Manchester. We don't have all this shop or restaurant. It's called Saint-Hilaire de la Côte. It's a long name. We like long,
Oh, okay. All right.
long name.
Did you
I
get
can't
that,
say
Phil?
I can't say I've heard of that one.
Did you get that? Did you get that, Phil?
A friend of mine would try to build a recording studio in Montpellier,
Oh yeah.
and he tried for 5 years to get it together, and everything it just didn't end up happening. He was
yeah.
very disappointed. He loved it over there, and even learned how to speak French just so he could do it.
Sorry
And
to
it was
hear that.
yeah.
Yes.
it was I was disappointed too. I would have gotten to go to France out of the deal. So oh well.
Yeah.
So
To the Louvre.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are we
That's our
ever going to talk
subject
about the
today.
Hey, wait a
Louvre?
minute. Before we get to the Louvre, though, did we mention on air about her father being a big Johnny Cash fan?
No, we
Well, I
missed
didn't
that
think-
somehow or another.
Played
I
some
didn't think
Johnny
we did.
Cash before the show started.
Yeah, I
well,
played a little bit.
but
yeah.
we didn't do it. We didn't do it on air though.
No.
So her father is a big Johnny Cash fan,
Well, that's
and
his
that
good
make-
taste in music, at least.
Well,
Well-
yes, actually, well, yeah, he used to listen to it when he was younger, and I actually some years ago, well, it was probably last year, 2 years ago, I don't know, but for the Father's Day, me and my brother and I, we offered him some singing lesson.
Oh,
He always wanted to sing, and he went, and now he sing
Johnny Cash.
and he sings some Johnny Cash.
All right.
Yeah,
That's cool.
he does.
Yeah.
You know, he just turned 60 years old, so now he has some fun, which is nice.
Yeah, that's
So-
cool. I like that.
Well, Adele, now your father
Yes.
and Howard have something in common
Yeah.
because
I'm-
Howard.
That's a long time ago.
Go ahead. I've led into it,
Well,
Howard.
about in your early '80s, I guess it was,
Okay.
somewhere in there. A friend of mine who was a big Johnny Cash fan introduced me to Johnny Cash music and stuff, and we both were in the Johnny Cash fan club. and Fanfare in Nashville.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah,
we
exactly.
were working in Murfreesboro at that time. And Fanfare would come up, and we belonged to the Johnny Cash fan club. And we actually went up, oh my goodness, 5 or 6 times to have breakfast with Johnny.
Really?
During Fanfare.
Wow.
And so there would be maybe 80 of us or 100 of us or something like that. And we actually got to meet him and had pictures taken with him. And
Did he sign some pictures for you?
never signed any pictures. That was back, you had to take a picture and then have it developed.
No. So if I met
But,
somebody 5
I
times, I think I'd have a picture.
Well, I do.
After the first time.
I do have his autograph on it where he
Napkin.
Signed you $100 bill.
signed a $100. No. He signed a nice piece of white paper for me. But what was interesting and kind of shocked me was he's shy. He was
Yeah.
a shy person one-on-one. June Carter, his wife, however, was not. I mean, she was the real person, real outgoing. She would get up and kind of do most of the talking, and then of course Johnny would come up and say a few words. But I was surprised how one-on-one, here's a man that could get up and sing these songs before thousands of people.
Tens of thousands.
Yeah, and like in a concert, and yet one-on-one he was kind of a shy guy. But real nice, and he was very personal. Being nice, he was, and he liked.
So
to
how long
talk.
did the little get together, the breakfast last?
Well, I guess we were there a couple hours with him. I mean, they didn't rush it. And one of them we went to, he was going to do a special recording session out at his museum. He lived out in Hendersonville on the lake,
Yeah,
I think it
so.
was.
Yeah.
And we got a special pass to go later that was like a day or two later. We all went out there, and he had his museum there then. That's where his museum was. Now I guess it's down there in Nashville somewhere.
yeah.
There's
Yeah.
a Johnny Cash museum now.
You and Emily went to Nashville, and what
We-
was that picture you taken with Johnny Cash? Was it a
Like what they have in Los Angeles.
like a star on the sidewalk or something?
Yes.
To the Walk of Fame?
Yes.
star?
Like a Walk of Fame.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay.
And they had also Dolly Parton and some other that I don't know. I have to say I know Johnny Cash, Dolly, and some others, but.
But anyway, he was very nice. I got to meet his son too, who was about 12 or 13 or something at that time. He was, I forget what his name was now.
Well, didn't they have a house over in some island or something, and at one time somebody broke in when, it was a big news story that they was trying to kidnap them or something, or
I don't-
rob them. Do you remember that?
That might have been the one in Hendersonville because it was on the lake.
No, this
Oh.
was some island. He had a house in,
Oh, I don't-
out of the country.
Oh, I don't remember that. Could very well been, but anyway, your dad has good taste in music. Johnny Cash I like his music. I really do.
So if your dad will cut an album, you could send it back to
We'll play it.
WMSR and they'll play it here.
Okay.
Send a CD.
Okay.
Yes.
I'll tell him that.
Okay.
Well, he'll get to hear it anyway. 'Cause
Yeah.
Yeah.
on YouTube, he'll know that we said
True.
do that.
It was Jamaica where his...
Yeah,
his
Jamaica.
house
Was
from.
it Jamaica?
Uh-huh.
Sorry.
And so was I right? Was it attempted robbery or what was it? Does it say?
I just got the
okay, you
headline.
just-
Yeah. Sorry. Armed with a knife, a pistol, and a hatchet.
Ooh.
There's 21. Yeah, okay. So, like, he was there threatening him. Wow, okay.
Yeah, they were
so it
having
wasn't
dinner.
Just like
like
okay.
a Thanksgiving dinner or
Yeah.
some particular, special occasion.
Yeah,
They
so
were there.
it wasn't just that they were in Hendersonville and their house
Yeah.
got robbed.
Oh, no.
Okay.
That's the robbery I prefer.
Yeah.
So, Adele,
Yes.
you want to talk about the 14 top facts?
Let's go back.
Finally.
Yeah. Philip, do you
Yeah.
want to kick it off, or are you doing news stories now?
I've never even searched that. So
Adele?
yeah.
Let me get you started here. So the number one fact out of 10 facts is it's the biggest museum, right?
Yes.
We knew that.
Well, yeah, it's pretty big, and I don't remember. It's like Versailles. Versailles, I know it took 1 week to visit every room, and also the yard and everything. The Louvre is kind of the same.
Took about a week to visit it.
Somehow, yeah. And with Emily, we stay like 3 hours.
3 hours. Y'all
In the
didn't get to see
Louvre.
much then, did you?
Yeah. Well, what is nice, and I think it's great for the tourists who come to not, the most famous painting are all together in the same area room of the roof. And I didn't remember that, but then I was, because I was like, oh gosh, if we have to see all of them and go all around the Louvre, it's gonna take a while. And so he didn't, because it's in the same room. It's a big room, yeah. It's really really tall too, and so that was at the same place. So that was really easy.
So do you remember? Of course, the Mona Lisa was there, and then do you remember?
There is I don't know the word in English. Well, when Napoleon was
Emperor.
Well, yeah.
Or king.
Emperor.
He was emperor.
Yeah, but
emperor,
when he was like, the ceremony.
Oh, okay. Coronation or?
Well, for an emperor, I don't know how we
Swearing
call it.
in, maybe,
Yeah,
or
something like that.
claiming of the thing.
Okay. And there's others, of course, but yeah, it's kind of impressive. All the famous painting there is.
So, interesting fact about good old Napoleon. He loved the Mona Lisa so well. Tell him what he did with it. You remember?
No.
Yes, you do. You told me.
What
He
it-
took it and put it in his bedroom.
Oh yeah, yeah. I forget about that. But yeah, he said, "Oh, this is nice."
Yeah, he took it home.
Took it home. Well,
guess
when
you
you're
could-
emperor, you can do things like that.
I tried to do the same, but they didn't let me to do it.
Well, somebody did it one time in 1913.
Somebody steal it?
Yes.
1911.
11, okay.
11.
Yeah.
It got stolen, didn't it?
So it was, it was quite big. And first, when they found it was on Monday, I think, because that was the day it closed back then. And
By the way, it closes on Tuesday now.
now, yeah, yeah.
In case
good-
anyone's
nice,
planning a
nice
visit.
fact. But yes, and when they figured it out, they couldn't believe it. They thought, they moved it for some restoration work, and no, and so they look everywhere, and it's quite big, the Louvre,
Yeah.
as we said, and so it was just gone. And 2 years after, it was in Italy.
Mm-hmm.
The guy tried to sell it to
another dealer.
yes, and so the dealer, of course, say yes and blah blah blah, and then he called the police, and that's how we found the Mona Lisa again. And actually, back then, the Mona Lisa wasn't really famous. There's a lot of others painting that was
older.
back in the time more famous than Mona Lisa, but as it was stolen, make it more famous.
There's a lot of people apparently in the world that have private collections of art that have a lot of black market items that somehow have been stolen. And nobody knows they have them, but they have them hid away and for their own private use. Or
it happened. That's
probably what this guy was trying to sell it to.
Yeah. Well, it happened. Sometimes that people find out they have paint from a very famous artist in their storage somewhere.
Yeah, that happens every once in a while. Too.
For example, when your grandparents died and you have to move everything, and then you look at it and you say, "Wow, it's look like this artist."
Mm-hmm.
But of course, it has to pass through some analysis and to see if it's really.
We're going to take a break and we're coming back, and we ain't going to get a whole lot done today.
No, but we've had a good program. I've enjoyed this.
Yes, we do.
I've learned a lot about France all these days.
Hello, I'm Pick and Rick T from CFC, best place to get you used auto parts and all types of metals to repurpose for your needs. Just take a drive down 55, see this handsome guy, stop on by. Check out our computer for hundreds of autos to locate the make and the model of the part you need. $2 fee is all you pay. Sign in and get a hand stamp, it's good for all day. Bring in your tools, get the parts you need pulled, and use a wheelbarrow to lighten the load. Pay for your parts, prices you'll be fond of. Each part's price the same, Chevy or Honda. Get exchange warranty for 30 days too. Swap out the parts you don't need for the parts that you do. Happy pick.
The Jiffy Burger on the Hillsborough Boulevard in Manchester has been voted as having the best hamburgers in Manchester. Hometown atmosphere, historical memorabilia, and of course those great burgers, salads, chicken, and so much more. It's the Jiffy Burger on the Hillsborough Boulevard in Manchester. Call in orders at 728-4452. You can also order at the convenient outdoor curb service. Hamburgers are made the old-fashioned way at the Jiffy Burger, Manchester's finest hamburgers. Open 7:30 until 9, Monday through Saturday.
All right, we're back with Let's Talk Antiques and the Mona Lisa.
And so Adele told you that she became real famous when she got stolen.
Right.
And so Philip, you kind of read the story there real.
Yeah, it was a handyman that was hired by the Louvre to make protective glass cases for some of its famous works, including the Mona Lisa. And he hid in a closet overnight and then simply removed the painting, hid it under his smock, and was about to walk out the door when found out the door was locked and he couldn't get out. And then a helpful plumber came by and opened the door for him with his key. Yeah.
Not knowing that he had the Mona Lisa.
And it had been 24 hours before anybody even realized it was gone.
Oh, boy.
Hey, and here's another interesting fact about Mona Lisa. Adele, she's not painted on canvas, is she?
No.
She's painted on what?
Wood.
Wood.
On a
Popular plank.
just a popular
That's pretty good
popular
size.
wood, huh?
That's a pretty good sized plank, though, 21 by 30,
Yeah.
so it had to be at least 21.
It was a big tree.
Mm-hmm.
But it also means that the artist couldn't afford to buy canvas, and he found a piece of wood.
Possibly.
Well,
Maybe.
I've got a, James Harden's a local artist.
Yeah.
And he does a lot of rural scenes and stuff. I've actually got an old barn scene. He's really good at the barns. And,
Right.
And I've actually got an old barn scene that he painted on wood. And the knot hole, it's actually got a real knot hole, and he painted it into the barn.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So that's cool.
So she got to come to visit America. Jackie
Yes.
Kennedy wanted her to come to America, right?
Yeah.
And so the French government let her come?
Well, yeah. The
Yeah.
French President de Gaulle
Yeah.
agreed, and he went in the National Gallery of Art in Washington D.C. and also the Metropolitan Museum of Arts in New York City.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And like Adele said, another interesting fact about her, a thief made her famous, right?
Yes.
And here's a good interesting fact. What about Picasso, Adele?
He was a suspect in the.
And the theft?
Yeah.
Really?
Picasso.
Why Picasso, I wonder?
Well, during the investigation, they went so far as to question known as descendants such as Picasso and as the thief. They briefly arrested some poet, and it's
Some poet.
yeah.
That's Apollinaire. That's not some poet.
yeah. What is it right here? What is it? Look here. Arrested poet
Yeah.
who had what?
Once said the painting should be burned.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, I guess he didn't like her.
But come to find out, Picasso didn't steal the artwork.
No.
Well, he probably didn't like it because it
Well,
it looks like somebody. You never see what he paints.
Guess what though? She has been assaulted a couple of times. Once, a lady threw a mug at her.
Oh, yeah, I remember
Yeah,
that.
Yeah. That's why they built this big.
Glass case around.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also,
And the second time, somebody threw some acid on her.
Yeah.
But it was on the bottom right. So
I don't know what's wrong with them.
But you hear about that every once in a while. That
Do you know about the Louvre
doesn't make any
ghost?
sense.
No.
Oh, okay. All right. I was just.
I didn't feel it when I went, but
It says that they're one of the interesting facts is Belphegor, the Louvre ghost, which dates back to 1190. It's bound to the home to be some ghost, right? The museum is thought to be haunted by a mummy called Belphegor. The nearby Tully's gallery or gardens are also believed to be haunted by a man dressed in red. So.
Okay.
Hey, here's another interesting fact about her.
Yeah.
Mona Lisa cannot be bought or sold, and that's French law. Right? See right here?
I mean,
See what it says?
would you let it go?
I wouldn't, but I'm different. Would you sell her for 2.5 billion? I think that's what they said it's really worth
No,
right now.
no, because you know what? It's part of our art collection since.
Well, see, it's a
100
national
years.
it's a national treasure.
Uh-huh.
You know,
Kind of
anymore-
like the Statue of Liberty is to America.
Well-
Exactly.
Where do we get that?
So actually.
Did your family send that over here, or
Well, yeah, of
Okay.
course. My grandpa make it.
your grandpa made it? Okay.
No, just kidding. But
I think she's right in with the group. isn't she? Keep going.
Keep
but
going.
so it was designed by Auguste Bartholdi, if I pronounce it right, and it was given to the U.S. For the celebration of the American independence,
Right.
the celebration of the American independence.
You know, that's
Because-
something that most people, a lot of Americans probably don't appreciate is France helped us win our freedom from England
Heck
back in
yeah.
the 1700s. And, of course, we all know about Lafayette coming over, helping
Yes.
General George Washington
Yeah,
and training
sure.
the troops
Uh-huh.
because they were just a ragtag bunch of
That's
people.
all they
and,
were.
and he was a general and had military knowledge, and he was a big help in that. Plus, the French Navy, if I remember right, helped break the blockade so that America could get supplies in.
Yeah.
Right, broke the British blockade. So the United States owes a lot to France.
But here's
in its
another
early
thing
history.
about the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah.
You actually have one too.
Yeah.
Not far from your house.
Not just one, actually. I found out there's several other replica.
Several of them.
Like others. It's just so there is of course the famous one, the big one.
Yeah.
In New York.
In New York.
But also where close to where I live, we have a copy, a small one.
Uh-huh.
Because Auguste Bartholdi offered it to my county because in honor to one of a very important personality of the Second Republic in France who lived there, and so we have a small one.
Yeah, but it's not that small. It's pretty tall, isn't it?
Yeah, but compared
It's
to
small compared to the big one.
Yeah.
But we're not talking like 5 foot tall. We're talking several
Yeah,
feet
yeah.
tall. What, Phil?
Yes.
Google the
Well,
replica.
we
in
got
France.
about 30 seconds to go here.
Well, it don't take him but 2 seconds to go.
Sorry, I was just searching for an original Mona Lisa on eBay. $25.99, by the way.
Yeah.
It doesn't look quite as good.
So we got about 20 seconds left. Do you want to say something to your mom and dad? Well, you better do it because they're going to be on YouTube.
Okay, what want I say to my mom?
Hi, Mom and Dad.
I'm on the radio show
And TV.
and TV in the U.S. and I gonna start to be pretty famous around here.
Yeah. Yeah, just like the
big
rest
deal.
of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's infamous, not famous.
Do you know what that word means, infamous?
Oh,
Tell her. Hurry up, we got to get out of here.
you tell her.
No, you tell her.
Oh,
You can
well,
tell me after.
These people have maybe not very good standing in the community.
But that's not us. We are famous. Right?
Okay. Yeah, we are.
And you're famous, not infamous.
Yeah. Now
Howard.
you're gonna be famous in France too.
All right.
Okay.
Well, we've got to go. That's it for Let's Talk Antiques this week. We'll be back next week. Can we get her back next week?
Hey, well, we could, but she not this Saturday, but next Saturday she's leaving to go home.
Oh.
What did you have a good time on the show?
Yes. Thank you.
Well,
No, we need to thank you for
Yeah,
coming.
Yeah, thanks.
appreciate that. Thank you, and we'll see you next week for more Let's Talk Antiques. Bye-bye.